Om Namo Loe Sarvatrikavarti Aryantanam. Om Namo Loe Sarvatrikavarti Siddhanam. Om Namo Loe Sarvatrikavarti Ayaryanam. Om Namo Loe Sarvatrikavarti Uvajjayanam. Om Namo Loe Sarvatrikavarti Savanam. Omkaram Bindu Sanyuktam Nityam Dhayanti Yoginam Kamadam Moksadam Chaiva Omkaraya Namo Namo Namaha Samaysaraya Swanubhutya Chakasate Chit Svabhavaya Bhavaya Sarva Bhavantarachide Agnanatimirandhanam Gnana Anjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namah Tirthankaro Jagatana Jaivantavarto Omkaranada Jinano Jaivantavarto Jinna Samo Sarana Jaivantavarto Netirthachara Jagama Jaivantavarto Namo Etirthanayakane Namo Omkaranadane Omkara Sangarotene Namo Te Sri Kunda Kundane Upakara Jinavarano Kundano Dvani Divyano Jina Kunda Dvani Apya Aho E Guru Kanano Aho Bhagavati Matano Dhruva Achalane Anupama Gati Pamela Sarve Siddhane Vandi Kaho Sutta Kevali Bhasita Asamaya Prabhrata Are Ho Eka Suddha Sada Arupi Jnana Darasanamay Khare Kayanyate Maru Jari Paramanu Matra Nathi Are जम नेत्र ते मच ज्ञान नथि कारक नथि वेद करे जाने जकर मोदय निरजरा बंद ते मज मोक्षणे ओम नमः सिद्धेभ्यो ओम नमः सिद्धेभ्यो ओम श्री सुदात्माने नमः Jai Jinendra. Today is Wednesday, February 13, 2019, and we are continuing our discussion in Samaysar. In Samaysar, we are on stanza 14, and last week we had a very lively discussion on Panch Samvai, 5 Samvai. So, we had, I did not have answer to the question raised, so I have the answer, so we'll talk about it. Let me bring that slide for you. Delete. Just a second, okay? I need to bring the slides. Samaysar PowerPoint, okay. All right, okay. Slides are open, and I have to share the slides with you. Share, share, share. So the 5 Samvai we were talking, and we had one question came that all these 5 Samvai, are they recent innovation, or they are there for a long time? And at that time, only reference I had was Moksmat Prakashak, and that is about to 300, 400 years old only. So now, oh gosh, what happened here? So now I have a lot more information. So we'll talk about those things. Why it's going away? um, One second, okay. I need to stop share. My computer is acting up right now. I need to share.
Kirit bhai?
Yes.
I have a question, not regarding this, regarding Gurudev.
Okay.
So a question was, with this kind of blockage, do you think he was able to do his regular exercise and everything before?
Yeah, I mean, coronaries are very malleable things. So, in fact, he had also gone to Kailas Mansarovar with 19,000 feet elevation with low oxygen in the air. And this blockage was there at that time also. And prior, yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Honestly speaking, let's cut out the embellishment.
Yeah.
90% LAD blockage, 75% right circumflex. Yeah. What is the real exercise tolerance of, no, let's be honest, an obese person with a 90% LAD blockage and a 75% right circumflex? What exercise can they really do? What can you really stress them at?
Yeah, because see, there is so much, it's a chronic blockage. And so whatever exercise you are doing, then I think your body acclimatizes. And that's what I'm trying to say, that when he was planning to go to Mansa or Kailas in month of July, when I met him in Austin during the Austin Pratishta, and I said, that's a mistake to go with that coronary, because I knew that he has a coronary problem, he has a LAD problem, and all the things from last year, from the time that he had a stent done. So he told me that, well, Kirba, you scared me now. I said, well, you better be scared, because 19,000 feet elevation, normal person can also end up with a big problem, and you have very less reserve. So somehow he made it, but you can't fool the statistics, because statistically, if your chance of getting into trouble is very high, and if you didn't go into trouble, doesn't mean that you are okay. So.
And Kirit, I bet I wasn't there, but I bet they did a thallium stress test. I'm sure they didn't do an exercise stress test. No, because I don't think that you can't stress somebody like that, can you?
Yeah, no, I don't know what test they did, but then they found out that.
But if you had a 53-year-old male with past history of an LAD, a clinically significant LAD blockage and circumflex blockage and diabetes and high blood pressure, would you do an exercise stress test, or would you do a thallium stress test? Status post 2 stents.
Now you are talking here. I won't do those tests. I will do the angiogram. I mean,
right.
Knowing the history, I won't subject person to the treadmill stress test and induce the severe ischemia. And
exactly. So if you're not going to subject that patient to a treadmill-based stress test, isn't it reasonable to say that that same person is not likely to be able to really exercise extraneously on a regular basis?
Probably. That's a true assessment. Yes. Yeah. But anyway, at least he's doing good. That's all it counts right now, so that's nice. So
it was, how many bypass was it? Only one bypass?
6.
6?
6 are done, yes. Yes, 6. Yes, you are hearing right. Yeah.
So Kirit bhai, and as I understood that you actually gave him a diet plan or something?
Everybody has given all the things all the time, but
No, now. So, these things, if he doesn't take care of himself, these things can come back. So are you, is he listening now or no?
Well, I hope that it happens, I hope that happens.
I know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, okay. Maybe you can discuss that after the class is over, because other people may not have interest in that one. So after the class we can discuss.
My apology. Yeah.
No problem. Okay, so we were talking Phi Samvai, and Ankit brought the question that is this a new discovery, or it is there in the scripture from old time? And at that time I did not have answer, and now I have some answer. I talked to some of my superiors, and I got the answer. So Phi Samvai is been effectively mentioned about 1500 years back. And that was, let me see, who is that person? I'll give the name of that name of the Muniraj.
Why do you doubt?
I don't doubt. Do you know where it came from?
No. It was not doubt. It was a question. It was not. Yeah, maybe I paraphrased wrong sentence, but it was very good that at least there was a question occurred. And so when the question occurred, so at least now we have to go through it and we find out the answer. So it was good for everybody, not for him asking question. Asking question is no problem. I mean, you have to ask questions. If you don't ask question, then how do I learn?
No. That's not a question. It's a doubt.
It's not a doubt. I just asked where it's from and what agam does it appear. That's all I said. But Gurumulji said, how am I going to doubt it?
You are right. Let's see. Let me have the answer here.
You're sleeping. At least I was there to ask it.
Light's not coming up. Some light, but okay. Anyway, I think it's called. Gosh, how can I? This is something is not working for me today, but it should work. It should work. No reason to get frustrated about.
Okay, Uncle, Muniraj actually said that Muniraj actually wrote about the Path Samvais?
Yes, 1 second, hold it. Okay, here it is. Okay, the Acharya Ravi Sen in Padma Puran. This was about 6th and 7th century, and he has mentioned about the Phi Samvai. And the most of the places where Phi Samvai reference is given, that's in a Samaysar, or it's called Sanmati Sutra. And in that one, Acharya Siddha Sen, that was also 7th century that he mentioned about the Phi Samvai. And in Pravachan 47 which is Amrit Chandra Acharya wrote down, there also mention of the Phi Samvais are there. And Kartikeya Anupreksha, Acharya Kartikeya in the first century, he also mentioned about this 5 samvai.
That's wonderful. Actually, listen, I have not read Kartikeya Anupreksha. I've only listened to Swadhyas on 5 or 6 gathas. But Kartikeya Anupreksha is also, you probably already know this, but this is also the Shastra where Krambad Paryay is introduced.
Yes, yes.
Kartikeya Anupreksha.
Yes, because wherever there is a 5 samvai is there, that means Purusharth is there, that means Krambad Paryay is an integral part of it. So that was there. And to be referenced about it, 321 to 323 Gatha in Kartikeya Anupreksha, So if you have access to that, you can just go through that one. And so 5 samvais are mentioned in different ways. And Dr. Hukamchand Barilji gave very nice example. We'll take it once we go through these names and everything. He gave very effective explanation that it's very easy for anybody to understand. So what it says, the 5 samvais, means 5 things. Samvai means to have everything together, inseparable multitude. Those 5 things are present in a given act occurring at a given time. If I am knowing right now, I am listening right now, I'm doing any activity, that means these 5 inseparable multitudes are present, 5 samvai are present. What are those things? Purusharth, personal effort; Swabhav, innate nature; time, Kal Labdhi; destiny, Bhavitavyata; and Nimit is instrumental cause. These 5 things together and an act occurs. So that's what mainly these things are there. Now, the Nimit is not under my control. Destiny is not under my control. Time is not on my control. Innate nature, it's there, but I have the innate nature since time infinite. So if something is going to happen, then why it did not happen yesterday or last week or last year or last life or anything? So that is also not under my control. Only the control I have is Purusharth, means personal effort. Whatever personal effort I put it in, and then that kind of act occurs. When personal effort is present, remaining 4 are always present. So rather than looking for remaining 4, I should just look onto the Purusharth. That's what Gurudev Ji told us. That's what Acharya Todarmalji said, and that's what all the acharyas they have said to us. So personal effort, Purusharth is most important. Now, for that one, Hukamchand Barilji gave a really nice example, and it really is effective. What he said that a family, and the boy's wife is pregnant, and now she's in labor pain, and she's been taken to the hospital in the delivery room. And all the relatives are sitting outside, and they are having anxiety. What's happening? And pretty soon they hear the child crying, and then the nurse comes out, and they say, "What happened? What is it?" And then the nurse tells in an Indian dialogue that she says, "Barat aayegi." Barat aayegi means, instead of saying that girl is born, she said that at your home, the groom's party will come to take this child away. Means this is a girl born. That's what they say. That's what that nurse wanted to say. Now, suddenly all the relatives sitting outside, and they started thinking. First thing, they were very happy that delivery is normal and everything. Then they say, "Oh, Bharat aayegi," means the groom will be coming. Oh, when will that happen? So somebody said, It will happen at age 21, 22, 23, when she's ready to go for it, when the destiny is there, she's going to get married. So why you're worrying about it now? No, I mean, the time will come and she's going to get married. At the age of 20, 22, 23, she's going to get married. So when time comes, then she'll get married. Okay. Now the time passed by, the girl became adult, and now she's about 20, 22, 23, and then those relatives say, hey, when is she going to get married? When is she going to get married? Well, whenever his destiny is there, she's going to get married. Okay? Then they say, but after the marriage, will she have a child or not? Then the other elderly person said, hey, you know what? She's a woman. She's a woman. So she's going to deliver the child. So it's an innate nature of her that she's going to deliver the child. So why are you worrying about it? But when is it going to happen? When is it going to happen? Then they say instrumental cause means the husband has to be there. Husband has to be there. Then it will happen. So now the husband, his marriage occurred. And they say, now what? All these things, innate nature, she's a girl, she got married, time is already right, destiny also occurred, instrumental cause in the form of groom is there. Now what? Well, right away, right after the marriage, the kid left for US, and so they said, well, there has to be purusharth on part of both those people. And once they meet, then they are going to have a pregnancy and child will come. So this kind of example, who comes in the doctor, who comes in Bharat, he's a born teacher. So he gives really.
Dear Uncle, can you just quickly rehash that one more time, please?
Yes. Okay. Number one, when will she get married? So time comes and she'll get married. When she becomes adult and when the right time comes, she'll get married. So now 20, 22 year of age occurred, but it's not happening. What's happening? Well, destiny. When the right time is there, destiny is there, then she's going to get married. So that was time and destiny came that way. Then when she get married, will she have a child or not? Yeah, she will have a child because she is an adult woman. She'll get married and she will have a child. So that's an innate nature came because a husband won't deliver. It's only the wife will deliver the child. So innate nature. And then but what is going to happen now? Well, we have to have the husband. So they look for a boy, and the guy came from US that he got married and he left right away. Hey, now all these things are ready. Marriage is there, time is there, destiny is there. When is the child going to occur? Well, when they meet together, when there is going to be personal effort on their part, then the child will occur. So this way, all five samvais, inseparable multitudes, are intermingled with each other. So now, if you want to make the time as an important thing, you can just say, see, it was right time, and that's why the new child from this girl got delivered. Or it was an innate nature of that lady that she was fertile lady, that's why she delivered the child. Or it was a destiny for that child to have another child born. Or husband was there. So if you put instrumental cause as a principal key thing, then you can say, because husband was there, that's why the child came. But ultimately, it's a purusharth. Personal effort was there, then all the five multitudes were present. I don't have control of four things. I have a control of only personal effort only. So I have to think about personal effort. And when I'm doing personal effort, today, class was supposed to start at 6 p.m. on Arizona time, and we started 10 minutes late. Why? It was supposed to happen that way, that it was about, I had to finish my dinner because it's Ashtami. I don't want to wait after the class is over. So that's why delay occurred. It was supposed to happen that way only. And I can't just try to make it exactly at 6 and everything. So those are the things. Your Purusharth is important. So when will I get Samyak Darshan? Put your Purusharth right now. Where the person who just believes in a Krambat Parya and everything, well, whenever I'm going to get the Samyak Darshan, I will get it. I don't want to worry about it. He will never get it that way because he's not putting his Purusharth. When I have opened my office in 1980, July 17, first day, I knew there was not a single patient going to show up. Why did I go to work? Next day, there was not going to be any patient. Why did I go to work? What happened? There, I knew that if I'm not present 8 to 5, Monday to Friday, I will not get patient. So there, I'm not questioning all these things. Here, when I'm here, then, well, I don't want to do my Purusharth. If somebody,
yeah. In his discussion of the concept of Nischay Abbas, Pandit Toramalji explains Purusharth really, really beautifully. I've never read somebody explain it better than him. Very similar to what you're saying, but if anybody ever gets their hands on Mokshmar Prakashak, in I think chapter 7, in the explanation of the meaning of a Nischay Abbas, or the definition of Nischay Abbas, he explains Purusharth very well in the context of Pat Samvai, why that's the only important Samvai.
Yes, because you don't have any, and when you have Purusharth, rest of Samvai, they are present there. So that's what you had. Remember, in lots of confusion occurs in a layman's mind about this Krambat Paryay and Purusharth, and that's a question probably we can discuss while we are on 5 Samvai, because if we don't discuss that Krambat Paryay right now, then this discussion of 5 Samvai is not complete. Gurudev Sri said that there is a presence of Krambat Paryay. Actually, the word is Kram Niyamit, and Gurudev coined the word Krambat. Samaysar 308 to 311 stanza, and that's a beautifully explained. And there are on those 308, 9, 10, 11, 4 stanzas, even the books are written on it about this Krambat Paryay. And again, Hikamchandji Varil has done a beautiful job explaining in his own style of explanation.
And actually, he wrote a book about Krambat Paryay, which is also very good. I read
that's really
that book.
Yeah. So what does it mean? Means the sequential order of mode coming in its own sequential order. That's a Kram Baddha Paryay. Means whenever I'm supposed to get Samyak Darshan, it's going to happen at the time. So that's a Krambat Paryay. It is already written in my infinite past, present, future modes. Yeah.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. Okay, so the concept of the Kramik Paryays. Okay, so in dravyas, in any padarth.
Yeah.
And I'm just trying to summarize what Subhash Bhai told me. I don't know if it's right or wrong. Please correct me. Any padarth is anvay and vyatirik. So anvay means that is the drovya part of the padarth, and vyatirik is the utpad and vyay aspect of a padarth. The vyatirik, utpad, vyay aspect is the part that paltais, or is the part that's constantly changing in a kramic fashion, and that's why I think the kramic fashion, the fact that there's utpad and vyay in the paryayas, and the fact that there's a drovya of the guns is what makes a dravya. It's what makes a padarth a dravya. That's dravya gun.
Yeah.
So the concept of karambad paryay, which is changes in paryayas in a sequential fashion, isn't that just a characteristic of all padarths? And then doesn't the Krambad Paryay that we know and that everybody finds very controversial, doesn't that just follow directly from the nature of any padarth because of the anvay and vyatirik characteristics of any padarth?
Yes. Yeah, number one. When Subhash Bhai said, naturally, he has said right. And of course, when he said right, you understood right also. Both the things are right, number one. Second thing, Anvay Vyatirek means Dravya Gun and Paryay means a substance, attribute and modes are integral part of a given substance in the universe. It could be soul, matter, medium motion, medium race, space and time, all 6 universal substances. These modes are coming in a sequential order. Having said that, medium of motion, medium of race, space and time are pure substance, pure attribute, pure modes, and because they are pure modes, so one after another, after third, one and the next one and next after thereafter, all those modes are going to come in a pure form. So there is nothing much to discuss because this mode of medium of motion, medium of race, space and time is a pure, next one is pure, third one is pure, fourth one is pure, and so continuously pure modes. Siddha Bhagwan has a pure modes all the time. So he is a pure and next one is pure and third. So there is no more discussion to do it. Only transmigratory soul and matter substances, they have the modes, can have different types. And that's where the discussion occurs, that those modes, my modes, if you take infinite modes I passed by so far, forget about the future mode, infinite modes that I passed by, no single mode is exactly the same. Once again, no single mode nature is exactly same as other one. Why? Why? Because soul has an infinite attribute. Remember infinite definition we gave? Souls are infinite, matter particles are infinite times infinite, 3 times so for samay are third infinite, space point of the whole space is 4th infinite, and 5th infinite is my attribute. So that many attributes I have it, and each attribute has mode occurring at a given time. And so out of all those infinite attributes, one can behave like this, one can behave like this, third one can behave like this. So there are infinite permutation combination can occur, and that's why 2 modes of a transmigratory soul can never be the same one. And so is the same thing in a matter substance. And now saying that one, now they are coming in a sequential order. They come in their own order. They don't come before or after. If I am going to be in hell, or I'm going to be in heaven, or I'm going to be human or animal and plant, it will happen at the end of this life, because that is the modes come in sequential order. Now, maybe I can get a Samyak Darshan, and now I'm going to go to the heavenly soul and come back, and then I get liberation, whatever, for example. Then it was supposed to happen. That's why it happened. But at the same time, so those are the modes coming in the sequential order. Now, if the mode of this iPad are coming in sequential order. Forget about this. Let's take a live example. Yesterday, last week, my son moved. And so in the new home he moved, he has taken lots of things out. And so Vibhuti said, oh, these are good things, let's take it home. So we brought it home. And I put that box on some support, and suddenly the box slipped, and 2 of the bottles, they broke down. Those 2 bottles were supposed to break down at my place in my garage, so it did happen. It didn't happen in his old house. It didn't happen during transfer. It didn't happen in his new house. It happened in my. So it was supposed to happen that way. That's why it happened. So the things in a matter can happen according to its own mode coming in sequential order, and my modes are also coming in sequential order. So now, is it because of my carelessness that those bottles just got destroyed? No, it was supposed to happen that way, because that matter has its own mode and I have my own mode. So now I can't do anything to the modes of the other substance. That could be matter, medium of motion, medium of rest, space and time. So do I just take credit?
Okay, you can't, okay, one padarth can't do anything to another padarth because, again, if you look at it from a padarthic perspective, because the Mahat Satta of one padarth does not coincide, overlap, or influence the Mahat Satta or Antar Satta of another padarth, correct?
Definitely. So that's why I can't do anything to the other substances of the universe. Yeah, I am the ophthalmology and you are blind and I did the surgery. Now you can see the whole world. I'm the greatest of the great guy. But it was supposed to happen. That old man had a cataract and it was supposed to get operated just yesterday, and you became instrumental cause. You did the surgery and he is able to see. So did you do anything? No, you did your work of your mode to do the surgery. His modes were supposed to be in the proper fashion, so he's able to see today. So me as a doctor did not do anything to that patient. Patient improved by itself, and I was simply an instrumental cause in that one. So having said that one, that I can't do anything to the any alien objects of the universe. So my attention to the alien object of the universe is taken away. Now, can I change myself or not? Can I change my modes or not? Then my modes are also coming in sequential order. So I can't change those things. For example, Mahavir Swami got Keval Gnan at age 42. And his age was coming to an end at 72. And thereafter he went to liberation, moksha. Now, can Mahavir not change any of his mode, and can he not say, why should I hang around for 30 years? I would like to go to moksha right now. Let me change my mode and I'll go to moksha right now. Same thing was Rishabdev. Can he not change his mode rather than waiting for 1,000 years to go to moksha? So Bhagwan also cannot change his mode. So who am I to change my mode? So my attention from modal aspect also kind of gets withdrawn. So now what else remains for me? For the alien objects are done, they are not my part of it. Then my mode, I also have no control on it. So what else I can do? I can have only my faith directed to the eternal soul substance. When I look at my eternal soul substance, then at the same time, pure mode of Samyak Darshan is generated, and that is called your Purusharth. So Purusharth was not doing anything but just to bring attention to the eternal soul substance. So rather than changing the whole world, rather than changing my modes, my attention was focused on the eternal soul substance, and that's the one called Purusharth. And when that Purusharth was there, then my innate nature, means my soul, produces the pure mode of Samyak Darshan. That was right time for Samyak Darshan. That was my destiny for Samyak Darshan. And at that time, instrumental cause was omniscient Lord, Holy Scripture, and enlightened true teachers. They were my instrumental cause present. So these are the things. Purusharth means just to draw your attention to the eternal soul substance. So now that's a theory we said. What do I do today? I should learn who am I. Just to learn that one, I have to read the scripture. I analyze the scripture. I talk to the people when I have query. And once I have that query get settled down, then I just kind of imbibe on those idea about the true nature of the soul. That is the one, it is called Yatharth Tattva Nirnay, means now I really, in true form, I made the decision about my true nature. Nothing is happening so far.
Uncle, Yathartha Tattva Nirnay, that is Purusharth.
But yeah, but first we just said Nishchay Purusharth, and now we are just saying what is the process.
Vyavahar Purusharth. That is Vyavahar Purusharth.
So these are, but again, technically, it's not called Purusharth because I don't have the experiencing of the soul substance, but I'm going towards that point one at a time. I want to go to Washington, D.C. from New York. I had to pass through Verrazano Bridge. I had to go through 95 South, pass through New York. So the process has started, but I have not reached Washington, D.C. yet. I'm on the process right now. So Yatharth Tattva Nirnay is Purusharth in certain way, but not in a true form, not in the absolute sense. So now from the absolute reality decision, now I experience myself, and that is called my ultimate Purusharth, and that is called experiencing of the soul. That's called Samyak Darshan, and that's a time when one has experiencing of the soul substance, one has a Samyak Darshan, then he has in reality understood all five inseparable multitudes. Until now, until Samyak Darshan occurred, one has not understood five inseparable in reality. Of course, what we are doing right now is trying to understand that process, and now from that one, we make the decision that I will be going to my, 1 second, my electricity, bear with me. Yeah, okay. So, so my five inseparable multitude in reality, in understanding, occurs when Samyak Darshan occurs. So what we are doing is studying those situations. And by studying those situations, I just say, I have no part in the alien objects. I have no part in my mode, but still my nature from infinite time to go to the modal state, and I put my faith on that one. But gradually, by learning all these things, I try to withdraw that one. So that's a one, five samvai, and also the Purusharth, and also the Krambat Pariyai, they are intermingled with each other. So if somebody says, then I don't want to do Purusharth, then you will never get Samyak Darshan. You won't have Samyak Darshan, you have to do the Purusharth. What kind of Purusharth? As the stages are there, little small child is there, then you can just say, I'm the soul, I'm not the body, body is separate, soul is separate. That's all you teach him. When he becomes a bigger kid, what is this? I'm not the body means what? Now he tries to understand that part. Now he understands the philosophy a little bit deeper. That's also called Purusharth. Then the Yatharth Tattva Nirnay, reality in a true sense, understanding, that's also kind of a Purusharth. But ultimate true Purusharth is the one when there is experiencing occurs. So when we are on the five inseparable multitude, it is our duty to understand Krambat Pariyai. And you know, when you go to the general public, when you discuss to other people, these are the things will come out, and you should be aware of it, how these things are intermingled to each other. Purusharth and Krambat Pariyai are two sides of one coin. Either you say Purusharth or you can say Krambat Pariyai, they both are same in their own perspective. Okay, having said that, now we are going to do the next one. Next slide. So right faith mode, samyak darshan paryay. Okay, so this is same thing. Five purusha, five inseparable multitude. Soul substance is swabhav. Karma fruition is a need. Time it occurred at a given time is a kal labdhi. Destiny it occurred this time it was supposed to happen. Means time and destiny are kind of same thing, like in the sense two sides of a coin. It occurred at a given time, but destiny means it occurred the time it was supposed to happen. So they both are kind of intermingling with each other. And personal effort, my personal effort to have my faith directed to eternal soul substance is my purusharth. Purusharth is not remembering the whole Bhaktamar or whole Samaysar 415 stanza. Yes, it's good, but the real personal effort is not to do anything. Not to do anything means not to interfere anywhere else, and ultimately bring my attention to eternal soul substance. That's called Purusharth. So these are the things that we understand in Samyak Darshan. Now, if any one of the multitude is absent, then work cannot be perceived. Now is a loaded statement. Any one of the multitude is absent, then work cannot be perceived. I need to see a work. A work is to be seen. All the five multitudes have to be present. Four can be present. There is no Purusharth. Nothing is going to happen. Purusharth is there. Then whatever the Purusharth is there, whatever the personal effort is there, my personal effort is to make somebody's life miserable. Yes, it will happen. My Purusharth is to read today, whole day. Yeah, it will happen. Determination on my part is important. Whatever decision I make it and by determination I make it, that way the act will occur. Present express mode has all these five inseparable multitude present. So I tried extremely hard to go to med school and I didn't make it. So where is my Purusharth? What happened to my Purusharth? I worked day and night and I tried to do, and I said I have to have it. It didn't happen. So it was not supposed to happen. That's why it didn't happen. And maybe it happened for a reason that you did not get into that school. Why? Because you have capacity to work and everything, and you started work, your work capacity is there, and you just went to other field, and then you became CEO of a multinational company maybe. So it was supposed to be quote unquote destiny. But I don't know my destiny, so I have to keep with my Purusharth all the time. Destiny may take me anywhere else, it doesn't make difference, but I want to have Samyak Darshan. I'm not getting it. I'm not. Have patience. Have patience. It will come. Your Purusharth will intensify, and next moment is a moment that you are going to get Samyak Darshan. So not to get frustrated about, because we are talking five samvaya. The past and future modes are not having all these multitudes, because remember here it says express mode. Express mode has a five separable multitude. My present express mode has a five inseparable multitude. But past modes and future modes, past mode is gone. It's not in present time. Future mode has not come up. So it is not in the present mode. So the time is not there. Time is not there. So they are not expressed because they are not in the present time for getting expressed to have five inseparable multitudes present. In the past mode, can I do my personal effort in the past modes? It already gone. That part is gone. Yesterday was yesterday, tomorrow is tomorrow, and the present state is a present state. My efforts are only present time. So my personal efforts are not in the past, personal efforts are not in future. Personal effort is present right now. So that's why express mode is having 5 inseparable present in express mode only. Time, destiny, self-effort, and instrumental causes are absent. Mainly, let's say instrumental cause. Instrumental cause is not present right now. In the past mode, instrumental cause is not present. In the future mode, the instrumental cause is not present. And so, the past or future modes are not getting expressed. Therefore, in the past and future modes are in the soul in the form of its own innate nature and have eligibility stamp on it. Point Acharya Bhagavan is trying to draw over here to us that past modes and future modes, there is absence of instrumental cause, and Purusharth is also absent, so they are not getting expressed. They are not getting expressed, so they are without any relativistic point. Present mode, I have it, I want to speak, you want to listen, so you are an instrumental cause, I'm the speaker, so that way work is getting done and words are coming out. But if there is no speaker, no listener, whom am I going to talk to? So there is no instrumental cause, how can the work getting done? It doesn't get done. So past and future modes in the soul are going as an innate nature, means at a parinamic bhav, means they become nirapeks, means they become non-relativistic, means they become non-reactive. So anything becomes non-reactive to other things is called parinamic bhav. Eternal soul substance is inert. All the infinite attributes are inert. Past modes are inert because there is no, it's a non-relativistic space, non-relativistic mode. Future modes are non-relativistic, and so they are quote unquote inert.
Kirit, are you saying that past and future pariyas are in the middle or in the Atmic Parinamic Bhav?
Yes. Because remember, the parinamic.
Isn't there a word for that? Again, and this is Subhash Paisa just said this to me. Is there a special word for this? It's like the Atma is an ocean of every possible conceivable different pariyai, and then at the right time, one pariyai jumps up and it gets expressed, and then dives back into that sea of pariyais. Is there a particular term for that?
Nirapeks and sapeks. Nirapeks means there is no instrumental cause present, and sapeks means that mode is having the relation with the instrumental cause. So that's called sapeks. Remember this picture over here. See this picture here. Where is it? What happened?
Yeah, with the ocean, with the fountains, right?
Yeah, fountain. I think I went too far. Hold it. Yeah, here it is. Okay, so the water is quiet over here. Water has a capacity to be in the red, blue, or purple color at particular time. So when that water comes out from the fountain and the light is present as an instrumental cause, then that water is seen to be a red or purple or green. And then when that moment passes away, water goes back inside, then this red light is not called instrumental cause, even though that red light is present. Because it is doing good to what? Nothing. In this room right now, it is because it's night time, the light is helping. But if I am not in this room, what does that light do? Whom does that light help? Nothing.
So here go past and future pariyais are nirpeksh, but the present pariyai is sapeksh.
Sapeksh, yes. because there's instrumental cause present. And all basically, not only instrument, all 5 samvais are present. You know, if you really want to be really technical, all 5 samvais are present here, you know. Okay, so that one, okay. Okay, so they are in their innate nature, means that these modes are in parinamic bhav. Modes are in parinamic bhav. Now, mode, innate nature of the mode or parinamic bhav of a paryay, what does it mean? Inclination of attachment mode is presently expressed. Rag mode is presently expressed. Then goes in the soul with his eligibility stamp. Means it says that 10 paryais were there. 5th paryai was rag paryai. And once that 5th samay is passed by, that mode goes back to the soul substance with the stamp that on the 5th samay I was in the form of rag mode, but now I am in the soul substance and I'm in the inert and I have no non-relativistic relationship. There is no instrumental cause present and I am there. That's it. So the rag mode is presently expressed because there is instrumental cause present, and then it goes back to eligibility stamp in the soul substance with the eligibility stamp. Knowledge mode with karma annihilation comes subsidence, gnanic, shopshamay, paryay. Present mode is expressed, then dissolves in the soul substance. Knowledge mode also, it originated right now, and there was a karma fruition was present as an instrumental cause, and depending on intensity of the karma fruition, that presently expressed mode is expressed. That once that presently expressed mode then goes back to the soul, then there is no karma fruition present, and that's why it has gone back with its own then it is with his own stamp, it just goes back into the soul. So omniscient knowledge mode with absence of karma fruition presently is expressed and then dissipates in the soul substance. Means omniscient knowledge mode also in a present form has a karma fruition present, but that karma fruition, quote unquote karma fruition, is an absence. The absence of karma fruition acts as an instrumental cause. Absence of karma fruition is also called instrumental cause. So karma's presence / karma's absence both can act as an instrumental cause, and that's why omniscient knowledge has been perceived in a present form. Because if we make the first rule that the instrumental cause is present, that's why rag is seen, that's why knowledge is seen. So what about the omniscient knowledge? There is no karma fruition, but Shastra says the absence of karma or presence of karma, both are called instrumental cause. And absence of karma mainly we can just use for the omniscient knowledge, you know. Now, inherent nature means parinamic bhav means what? Ultimately means the soul substance by itself means eternal, indivisible soul substance. Then it's having an infinite attribute. They are inert also, and they are in the inseparable state in the soul substance. And past and future modes are also inert, and they are part of the soul substance. So parinamic bhav means all these 3 entities combined together. Means nirapeksh, means non-relativistic. Soul substance is non-relativistic, attributes are non-relativistic, past and future modes are non-relativistic. And so that's called inherent nature of the soul substance, called parinamic bhav. Why are we beating this subject so much? Because the fourth point in this 14th stanza, that is talking about it. So let's try to come back to that one. Okay, let's show you here. Reflective thoughts means vikalp. So space points of space are infinite, time units are infinite, modes are infinite, attributes are infinite. That kind of thought I have it. That kind of thought I'm making it. I'm sitting over here, how many time units could be there? How many space points are there? And all those things, what I'm doing, reflective thought, that's called vikalp. And reflective thought means inclination of attachment. Reflecting thought means vikalp, and vikalp means rag. And whenever there is vikalp, there is rag. And whenever there is vikalp, when there is rag, that means there is no vitragta. Vitragta means experiencing. When Acharya Bhagavan is in his experiencing stage, then he has no reflective thoughts at the time. When he comes out of the experiencing stage from 7th Gunsthanak, when he comes to 6th Gunsthanak, now he has a reflective thoughts means vikalp. So closest we can come is 6th and 7th Gunsthanak. That one time Acharya Bhagavan is in a reflective thought, vikalp, rag. Other time he's nirvikalp dasha, means no reflective thought. It's a primary abstract comprehension, and that's experiencing of the soul substance. So this reflective thought, vikalp, this nirvikalp dasha means primary abstract comprehension, means attention is given to the eternal soul substance. All divisions become secondary. One perceives eternal soul substance and right faith is generated. So over here, important thing what we would like to see is this guy. The divisions become secondary. Means the example Acharya Bhagavan gave on the fourth point was the gold. That gold is a substance, but there are infinite attributes present like heaviness, yellowness, stickiness, etc. Infinite attribute of the gold, but all those attributes are indivisible form in the eternal soul substance. Means if I keep my idea on the divisional form of the gold's attribute, means there's a yellow color, there's a heaviness, there's a stickiness. If I do the divisional aspect of the attribute, that means it's called reflective thought, means vikalp, means no experiencing of the soul substance. So that's all these exercises. Acharya Bhagavan gave it to us just to prove this point, that attention to the eternal soul substance is important, and at that time all divisions become secondary, even though they are present, but they are made secondary in a view of attention to eternal soul substance. So that's very important thing to consider. That's a fourth point, divisional of the attribute. Remember, first point was one substance is separate from other substance, and that was that lotus leaf and water separate from each other. Second one was modal aspect. In the modal aspect, first it was going from the area perspective, the pradeshatva gun perspective, and so soul substance, eternal soul substance is separate from that. Third point was soul substance is separate from all other modes of the modal aspect. And fourth point here is saying that division of attributes are also separate, but they are to be considered as indivisible. Separation, that means vikalp. Non-separation means nirvikalp. This appears to be kind of a very abstract, but they are not abstract, because I want to have experiencing of the soul substance, and what are the places that I should not get stuck on it. So Acharya Bhagwan gives different aspect, different places. He tells us what is where you should not get stuck to it. So even divisional, the reflected thoughts of divisions of the attribute also, I should not get stuck to it. I have a soul, I am a soul substance. I have a knowledge attribute. I have a faith attribute. I have that kind of reflective thought also will not give you Samyak Darshan. So tomorrow morning, I went to quote unquote meditation and I sat down for 1 hour, 2 hour, half an hour. I am the Gnayak. I am the all-knower soul substance. I have the attributes. I have this, that. That's all I think about, nothing else. It's a divisional aspect of attribute will not give me Samyak Darshan. I still need to go one more, which is going to be primary abstract comprehension, means nirvikalp dasha, means thoughtlessness state. Beyond the thinking capacity, beyond experiencing thing I have to go to, that only the one is going to give me Samyak Darshan. So those are the things we have to keep in mind. So do I not do the meditation tomorrow morning? Do it. If you don't do it, then what you are going to do? You are going to do some garbage activity. No, do it. But that is not the end point for me. Lots of people will say, well, I'm doing meditation. I'm very close to something. You're close, but does not mean you got it. So to get Samyak Darshan, you have to go beyond that reflective thought. You have to go in primary abstract comprehension, and then the experiencing occur. So this kind of thing tells us where not to get stuck. The process will be there. You will do meditation. You will just say, okay, I'm thinking right now. What am I thinking? This phone belongs to me. No, phone doesn't belong to me. Phone is a matter substance, and I'm the conscious element, and I am the one which knows the phone. That's why the phone's value is there. As we said one time before, one Panditji went to see in a London museum. He went and he was looking at Kohinoor diamond, and somebody asked him, Panditji, what's the value of this Kohinoor diamond? He says, do you ask the question, what's the value of the Kohinoor diamond, or the eyes which are looking at the Kohinoor diamond, whose value you are asking? So Kohinoor diamond has no value if there is no eyes to look at it. So eyes are important. Similarly, everything has no importance if I am putting myself on my primary thing, that I am the eternal soul substance. That's what experience I have to get it. So at that time, these things, division of attribute also becomes reflective thoughts. So I have to do the only attention to the eternal soul substance, which is indivisible in nature. If we just look at it, that Acharya Bhagwan is hitting the same thing again and again and again from different perspective to us, to have us get into the habit of thinking that I am the soul, I am the soul, I am the soul, I am the soul, and that those reflective thought also will start quieting down, and at one important moment you will go into the primary abstract comprehension and experiencing of the soul substance, which is Samyak Darshan. That should be our aim right now. So point number 4 is from divisional aspect of attribute. That is to be made secondary. 7th stanza in Samaysar. I have the knowledge, I have the faith, I have the conduct attribute. That kind of divisional of attribute also will not give me Samyak Darshan. Then I have to think about non-divisional aspect, unity aspect, inseparability aspect, indivisibility aspect. and that will be the experiencing the soul. So that was point number 4 we talked about. Now point number 5, the last point is coming now. Acharya Bhagwan has given 5 points in this one, and as we said just now, a few minutes back, 2 substances are separate, the area mode is separate, rest of the modes are separate, divisional aspect of the attributes are separate. Now what is remaining? First he gives example and then he's stressing the point. Unconnected or uncombined or asanyukta, what it means. Here is a picture that water is boiling. Wait, what's the nature of the water? It's a coolness. So is this a hot water is what then? We know fire's attribute is a heat. And we know water's attribute is coolness. But over here, if this coolness is an attribute, put your finger inside right now and see what happens. So what is happening with this water right now? Is this the real nature of the water to be in the hot state, boiling state? No. When that water in its cool state goes away from its cool state and get associated with the fire, then there is transiency occurs in the form of boiling water. Yeah, but I would like to see cool nature of the water. Take this boiling water, and if there is a fire, throw that boiling water on it. The fire will subside because water's original nature is coolness. So that original nature does not go away. So association brought this water as a boiling water. So this example Acharya Bhagwan gives, and then he says, now what? Now he gives about the explanation. Water's nature is coolness. Mode of the water combines with the fire. Water becomes hot. This boiling water, hotness in the water is by water itself. Fire simply acts as an instrumental cause. So simply think water is boiling. That's all I see over here. And then our analytical mind said water is cool, but coming in association with the heat, water by itself converted into hot and boiling state. Fire was simply an instrumental cause. What does fire means? Instrumental cause means what? Fire's presence is important, but fire cannot do anything to this water. Water is boiling by itself. Fire's presence is important, but cannot do anything about it. So this definition of instrumental cause has to be engraved in our mind so deep that middle of night somebody asks us, what's the definition of instrumental cause? Then we should say, when there is an act is getting done in a principal object, then the associated things to be present is called instrumental cause. Its presence is important, but does not do anything to the principal object's work. Principal object is getting work done, number 1. Instrumental cause is present, number 2. Instrumental cause cannot do anything to the reaction. And 4th one, act cannot occur without instrumental cause being present. So 4 things we have to understand in this definition. We have to engrave in our mind. We have to repeat our mind several times. We have to keep thinking about it. Just in this room, there is a light's presence is there. That light's present, light is instrumental cause because I want to see the things around. So I am the performer and light is an instrumental cause. Light does not do anything to my performance, period. That's it. So that kind of an attitude we have to develop. So point number 5, explanation of the example is given. Now, soul and matter relationship, this figure We have seen for last 3 years, we keep on seeing this figure time to time. Soul as a substance, modes, innate nature or deluding state. Deluding state mode is there, then fruition of karma is present, principal cause, auxiliary cause relationship, nimit nimitic sambandh. Deluding state is present, bondage of new karma occurs, principal cause, auxiliary cause relationship, and these are the modes of the matter. Fruition of karma and bondage of karma is a modes of the matter. Then what it says, that the karma after getting bonded goes into dormancy, remains in the soul for that long of a time, then fruition occurs, and then this circle keeps on working again and again and again. So now what it says over here, this circle keeps on going for since time infinite in me. It's going on and on and on and on and on and on and on forever. So that's the reason I'm in transmigratory circle wandering. And that's why I'm in deluded state. That deluded state sometimes could be an auspicious nature or inauspicious nature. And that both those auspicious, inauspicious nature makes my deluding state. Having said that, now how can I take that one out? If I just don't go in the deluding state, then the whole circle which was getting energy from, here it was getting energy from the soul, that energy point is cut off. This circle's life is not there no more. Gradually, fruition of karma disappears, karma bonded doesn't occur, deluding state is not there. Soul becomes innate state, and that's called nirvana, or it's called the liberation, or it's called a siddha dasha. Now, in this siddha dasha right now, the separation occurred, and to experience the self is a right faith. I'm experiencing myself in this innate state is a right faith. Yeah. Now, point number 5, principle is trying to do, 1 second. The experience is a right faith. Then at the same time, when I'm experiencing myself, I'm separate from the alien objects of the universe. That is called right knowledge. And I get engrossed in myself all the time continuously. That's called right conduct. So right knowledge, right conduct, right faith, combined together, everything combined together is called path to the salvation. We have seen this figure several times before. Now, point number 5, principles. Let's see what principle is trying to tell us here. Soul substance is eternal and free from any karma association. Eternal soul substance is free from any karma association. It's a modal aspect, reacts with the karma fruition. Soul in the modal state and decides to be in deluding state by itself. Mode by itself decided to be in that deluding state, and there is nobody invited mode to do it. Mode did all the thing by itself. Inclination of attachment and aversion means instrumental cause, inclination of attachment and aversion, IAA, are produced. Means when there is when I'm in the deluding state, fruition of karma acts as an instrumental cause. Instrumental cause, fruition of karma occurred by itself. Nobody invited this karma to be in fruition. They have their own modes in sequential order also. A soul has its own mode in sequential order also, and they both occur at the same time. So that's why principal cause, auxiliary cause relationship. Karma fruition acting as an instrumental cause. When one looks at the modal state, then inclination of attachment and aversion, then it's a true state. When I'm looking at a modal state alone, then that rag and dvesh, that mode is a true form. That's a bhutarth. But when looks from the substantial perspective, then modal state becomes secondary and thereby non-true, means abhutarth. Means same mode over here. If I'm looking deluding state, I am the one making deluding state. I am the one in the rag and dvesh form. I am the one in the anger, deceit, ego, greed form. And I'm doing it by my own. So that's a real state. It belongs to me. It's a real true thing. But when I'm looking at the eternal soul substance, then these things are present, but they become less important. Their importance becomes much, 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 much less. And so at the time, they become secondary, thereby they are abhutarth. Having said that, now let's say what it says next slide. It says, inclination of attachment and aversion state leads to karma bondage. The end point is misery. It means one ends up with transmigration of life and death suffering continuously. By directing fate to the eternal self, one ends his cycle of misery. Okay. Because we are not putting much time on this slide because we have gone several times on these slides, this situations before. So what happens? Eternal true nature is pure and non-dependent, innate, independent state and no association with the karma. This guy has no association with anybody else. Eternal soul has no relationship. He is a nirapeksh. It has no relationship to anybody else. It is a non-relativistic point. Modal state of toxic emotions, anger, deceit, ego, greed are dependent on instrumental cause of the karma fruition. So they are relativistic in nature. Modal state is not present in the eternal soul nature of the soul. This modal state is not present in the eternal soul. Eternal soul is separate. The present deluding mode takes the aim at the karma fruition. It was the birth time for this mode by itself, and karma was only acting as instrumental cause. Looking from modal state, this change is present, but does not deserve the respect. This modal state is present, but it does not get the respect because eternal soul substance is the one which is supposed to get the respect. Having said that modal state is secondary, modal state is non-true, modal state is present but made secondary and all the things, modal state does not deserve any respect. Now what? It means point number 5 is from this deluding mode's perspective. Because this deluding mode came in association with the fruition of karma. That water came in association with the fire. That's why water lost its coolness. This eternal soul substance is pure in nature, but has a deluding mode, and keeping that deluding mode attention to the eternal soul substance. This deluding mode is keeping attention to the fruition of karma, and that's why the problem is occurring. So this is point number 5. This is association from the modal aspect. First point was two substances are not associated. Second point was the area perspective mode is separate on the substance. Then rest of the modes are separate. That's the third point. Fourth point was the division of attributes are separate. And fifth point is associative deluding mode is separate from eternal soul substance. That's a fifth point. So we are at this point. There is going to be somewhat more discussion coming. If there's any question, we can entertain the question. So keep that one in mind about 5 perspectives, how those 5 perspectives are respected. First, from soul substance is separate, then area perspective mode separate, rest of the modes are separate, the attribute difference, division of the attribute is separate, and association of the deluding mode is also separate from eternal soul substance.
Your uncle. It seems to, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, it seems to me that Acharya, this is from the Karash, correct?
This is from?
Karash, right? This is
no. This is a stanza itself. This stanza itself, 14th stanza. point number 5.
Okay, so then Acharya Dev, it seems like Acharya Dev is trying to, between these 5 points, he's trying to introduce us to the concept of parinamic bhava. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, it will come after this stanza is done, those things, because Amrit Chandra Acharya Dev, he gets idea. He reads Kunkun Acharya Dev's stanza and he says, what about this? And so he puts kalash in between. So the way Gurudev used to say that the Amrit Chandracharya and the Kunkun Acharya Dev, they both have a 1,000 years difference. But as if Amrit Chandra Acharya Dev went into the heart of Kunkun Acharya Dev and said, what was he thinking at this time?
No, but I guess my question, it's not a question, well, maybe it is a question. Is the purpose of these 5 points I'm guessing this is from the Tika. Is the purpose of these 5 points to introduce us to
say
parinamic bhava?
No, just parinamic or eternal soul substance mainly. Remember, this is the 14th stanza from faith perspective, that you put the faith on the eternal soul substance. You take your faith away from these 5 points. Means area, substance, area, time, bhav, and bhav.
The reason I'm asking the question is because it seems like each of these 5 points is from a nirpeksh perspective. So first he said that it's not paradravya. It's what do you call it? Vibhakta from paradravya. Then vibhakta from
perspective modes.
What do you call it?
Pradeshatva gun perspective.
Pradeshatva gun, right. Pradeshatva gun. Then he said he was separate from paryayas, and then separate from dravyas, and then this 0.5. So it seems to me everything is a nirpeksh statement.
To just show, just to give us the strength of non-relativistic nature of the eternal soul substance. So there is no place for a student of Samaysar to get stuck in those 5 places, one of the 5 places, and get into trouble. So he is trying to show us that you want to go to eternal soul substance, nirapekshta,
If you remove the 5th point, okay, because it says diluting mode, so let's remove that. If you just look at the first 4 points,
okay,
can't you say that about any dravya?
No, soul substance only. I mean, basically you can say, but the discussion is eternal soul substance.
I know that, but my question is very specific. These forget about the 0.5.
Yeah.
If you look at the first 4 points, can you say that about any padarth?
You can say so. Any padarth means matter also, you can say so. Yeah, you can say. There is no harm in that one.
Okay.
Yeah. But the importance is because Samaysar is a faith perspective. So what is out of whole thing? Where should be my aim? I'm going to steal something in the house. Where is my aim? That vault in the house. That's most important. It's not the whole house. Similarly, it's a whole soul substance. It's an eternal soul substance. My point has to be there. And that's only the way I can make it. There's a story about that Arjun. Arjun is supposed to be extremely expert in the bow and arrow knowledge. And so on the top, there is a fish going on in a circle from somehow. And he's looking, there's a water underneath, and he's looking at the shadow of that fish. And he concentrates and he releases his arrow at particular time that it just takes care of that fish. So his attention was extremely minute to that fish only. He just make everybody else secondary. Similarly, I had to make everybody secondary, knowing that everything is present, but they are secondary to me. That kind of thing, All right. Any other questions? If not, then we can do closing. Upakara jinavarano kundano dhanidhi jina kunda dhaniyatya ahote guru kanan jina kunda dhaniyatya aho bhagavati matanu Avani ke gyan se suje lokalo soani mastakanamo sada detahu. 9 times more common.
Vivian.